What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And today I'm here to answer the question of whether or not Baltimore Ravens left tackle Ronnie Stanley, who is slated to be a free agent here in a couple weeks, is the answer to the Kansas City Chiefs left tackle position. So, as everyone probably knows by now, the Kansas City Chiefs made a stunning trade this past week when they opted to trade away All-Pro left guard Joe Thuney to the Chicago Bears for a future fourth-round pick. And that was a move that was surprising to all of us, but it was also probably a signal that the Kansas City Chiefs have some sort of plan, a larger plan than anyone truly knows about for the left side of that offensive line that's going to need an injection of talent. Because look, you're going from Joe Thuney now to probably Kingsley Suamataia, who is going to be a step down probably no matter what from Joe Thuney. And that's okay as long as you get the left tackle position right. The Kansas City Chiefs now have to get left tackle right with Joe Thuney no longer being in the fold. But shortly after the Kansas City Chiefs traded Joe Thuney, Nate Taylor of The Athletic, and I'm using this graphic from our guy Chiefs Blitz over on X. They're also here on YouTube, good friend of the show. This is from them, but they quoted Nate Taylor of The Athletic, who recently said that Ronnie Stanley's experience and value in both the run and pass game when healthy are why the Chiefs believe he can be a major upgrade at the position and also be a dependable starter for multiple years. So Nate Taylor has pretty much put out there that the Kansas City Chiefs are eyeing Ronnie Stanley in free agency. So let's talk about that. What would that mean for the Kansas City Chiefs to get a guy like Ronnie Stanley? Would this be a good fit at the left tackle position for the Kansas City Chiefs? I've said for a while now that I thought that Ronnie Stanley was heading back to Baltimore. It sure sounded that way for several weeks now, that the Ravens were going to keep him and they had the leg up on everyone else, and that Ronnie Stanley wanted to be there and they were going to figure out a way. But the closer we get to the free agency period and, face that reality that Ronnie Stanley is probably going to hit the open market, that at least increases the odds that maybe Ronnie Stanley doesn't stay in Baltimore. And if Stanley is going to hit the open market, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be interested. And there's a pretty good reason for that. It's because Ronnie Stanley would probably then be the best left tackle available on the market. There's a few questions, though, guys, when it comes to Ronnie Stanley. This isn't something where the Kansas City Chiefs would have a guy that they know is a dependable starter. And I know I just read off what Nate Taylor said a minute ago about Ronnie Stanley. And yes, when healthy, Ronnie Stanley is very good. He'd be the best left tackle available. But that doesn't necessarily mean he'd be the best option at left tackle. And if they sign Ronnie Stanley, my question would be, is this someone that they're viewing as their starter at the position for multiple years? Is this a long-term commitment to Ronnie Stanley? Because if so, I have some concerns. So first of all, Ronnie Stanley, guys, has had a lot of injuries with the Baltimore Ravens. He's in his 30s now. We thought, heading into the offseason, this is the side of the ball where the Kansas City Chiefs are trying to get younger. They're trying to get more explosive. Ronnie Stanley would be going in the opposite direction of that. Ronnie Stanley is entering his 30s, and he's had some injury issues over the last few years of his career. So this year he played 17 games, and that, is good for him. It was the most games that he's played in a long time. But guys, you have to go back pretty far to see when Ronnie Stanley was playing football games consistently. In 2023, he only appeared in 13 games. In 2022, only played 11 games. In 2021, only played 1 game. 2020 only played in 6 games. 2019 only played in 14 games. He has not played the entire season once except for last year. That is a major concern if this is a guy that you're viewing as the answer to the left tackle position. And that's, where I have questions, especially if the Chiefs, said we're going to trade Joe Tooney off the left side of our line, who, sure, it may have been selling high on him now, and you may not have gotten a draft pick a year later. And I get that, but that he plays games. He's played through injuries quite a bit as well. Ronnie Stanley, not so much. Ronnie Stanley is a guy that I don't know if he's going to be able to stabilize the left side of your offensive line. If this is the Chiefs' plan at left tackle, is Ronnie Stanley, it's a massive risk in my opinion. And it just, I don't know, like last year, what we dealt with at left tackle was Kingsley Suamataia, Wanye Morris, injuries, DJ Humphreys getting hurt. And I just think, that was a situation where the Chiefs went in with a bad plan, and then we just were supposed to be surprised when it didn't work, and we were supposed to be surprised when the Chiefs signed DJ Humphreys, who was coming off a major injury, and then of course wasn't healthy enough to play. They kind of set the season on whether or not DJ Humphreys could get healthy. Didn't happen, and you saw what happened in the Super Bowl. And I just think sometimes you can kind of see these things coming. And if the Kansas City Chiefs sign Ronnie Stanley and he ends up getting hurt at some point and he's no longer there, I'm going to say, look, this is what you signed up for. Ronnie Stanley is a guy that doesn't play games, and he's almost guaranteed to miss some time throughout an NFL season. And the worst part is it's unpredictable when that could be. Could be at the worst time of the year, could be towards the end, could be in the last week of the regular season, the last meaningful game, and then all of a sudden you don't have him for the postseason. And granted, that can happen to anyone, but Ronnie Stanley's history suggests that he's going to miss time at some point. And is that a situation that you want to sign up for at left tackle? The only way that I would probably approve of this plan of the Chiefs bringing in Ronnie Stanley is if they're also investing a draft pick, also probably bringing back DJ Humphreys, like just throwing numbers at the position. Kind of like I said a couple of videos ago, whenever we talked about Donovan Smith, I'd be okay with them bringing Donovan Smith back. And just providing competition, a solid floor to have, so that the floor isn't Wanye Morris or something like that. And Kingsley Suamataia, it sounds like he's going to be your left guard now. So that kind of takes him out of the equation at left tackle. But the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, need to throw numbers at the left tackle position. So Ronnie Stanley, obviously when he's healthy, he's good. And there's no doubt about that. And I don't want that to get lost in everything that I'm saying, because this is a guy that, you see that pass block grade right there. Run block grade isn't, super impressive, but he did play in a running offense in Baltimore, and they seem to do just fine. But you see that pass block grade. That's what really matters, because this Kansas City Chiefs team needs someone that is dependable and pass protection at the left tackle position. And Ronnie Stanley is certainly that. So I'm not against Ronnie Stanley, the player. I'm against Ronnie Stanley health-wise. And it's okay if they bring him in. Again, I think if they throw numbers at the position. But if the Chiefs are bringing in Ronnie Stanley and they're putting all their eggs in that basket, and then at some point it comes back to bite them, I'm going to say, okay, look, you could have seen this coming. Like, I'm not going to be able to sit there and shed tears for the Kansas City Chiefs when their plan at left tackle didn't work, when their plan was to sign an injury-prone left tackle. So those are my thoughts on the Kansas City Chiefs potentially bringing in Baltimore Ravens left tackle Ronnie Stanley. Again, not against the player, obviously very talented, but this is someone that I don't know if I trust to stay healthy. But I want to hear from you guys down in the comments. Would you be in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs bringing in left tackle Ronnie Stanley this offseason as the answer to their left tackle issues? Definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments. But with all that being said, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so more Chiefs fans can find this. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com, arrowheadaddict.com for more. Last but not least, follow me on Twitter at showmefb. That's all I got for you guys in this one. I'll see you in the next one. And as always, go Chiefs.